this is gonna be a chaotic vlog. I think this is gonna be a very chaotic vlog. I want to document the process of making my oracle deck and showing everything about my inspiration and the way that I'm creating it and all of the different steps along the way. And I've made 3 cards so far, or I have illustrated 3. The last one I didn't edit yet or anything, I just made a painting. And I put them all next to each other because I was thinking in my mind, I thought they look different. And I want this deck to have a very specific look to it. I know from a graphic design standpoint, I was a graphic designer for 8.5 years. That's what my degree is in. And so I know that it needs to be consistent looking and it needs to feel like it's all nicely together, and like it doesn't necessarily have to, every card doesn't have to look the same, but you have to be able to look at them and be like, oh yeah, that's obviously from that collection. And I'm looking at these cards and they all look like they're from a different deck. And I've made 3 and I'm sitting here thinking, I love all of these cards individually. I think that they look so unique. And a big part of what I want to do is I want this deck to be like when you pull a card, every single card you pull is a work of art that you want to look at for a long time. I'm not going for minimal. I'm going for just beautiful artwork and something that people can look at and be excited to just have all of this artwork as a collection together. I wanted to have hints of feeling scrapbooky, or like somebody's journaling, or they're like piecing together things to make a nice picture, almost like scrapbooking journal or something like that. I'm like, my brain is so crazy right now. There's so many thoughts of like, what should I do? So there's this one that looks like kind of a sea goddess, and it's a full card art. In itself, I think it's so pretty. The theme of it, I really like the theme of it, and I think it would be great in this oracle deck, but the style of it's just so different, and I really feel like I need to reel it in. I know I have to figure this out. Either I edit them more similarly and I change the way they look to all look more similar, or I have a different series of just like sea artworks involving people. Yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Okay. I don't know if this is due to just scatterbrainness or ADHD or what, but I literally had thought of this before, that I wanted to include people, I wanted to include plants and all this stuff, and I had a plan of what I wanted to do with it. I made a watercolor mock-up not long ago, and let me just show you what I have here. This is very basic, very not detailed. It just wanted to show color palettes and stuff. But yeah, I had literally thought of this and how many cards would be in each category, and I had forgotten that this problem had sort of been solved. Announcement. Anyways, yeah, so I even had detailed out how many of each type of card I would have. But yeah, this even the same color palette. So this is going to be a darker bluish color palette. This is going to be a brown color palette, and this is going to be white with a pop of color. And I think that once you lay out all of the cards together, when I have many different types of cards, they will go together. I forgot about that piece. I need to get more organized real bad. That's all I wanted to say. What else? Anything else? I'll show you, once I fully edit this card, I'll show you what they looked like together. Once I finally edited that last card to look similar to the other cards, I put them all next to each other again, and I really like how they look now. It made such a big difference from just the full painted artwork to the fully edited version. I think it looks so much more cohesive. It looks like it's a part of this collection, which is what I was really hoping for, but I didn't know if it would come together in this way, so I'm really happy with that. And so now I think I can continue on with this style in each of these categories, and I think they will all look like they go really nicely together. So I have new shelves. Check out these new shelves. Look how cute. Looks so much better. Everything was on the floor before, and now I can actually find everything. Anyways, I just wanted to do a quick update. I'm making a little series on my social media where I go out in nature and I look and find something interesting, and then I paint it and talk about like the folklore or something interesting about the plant, and I'm gonna call it the painted path. So that's what I'm doing right now, is I'm just like filming the intro for that. And I got really excited with this idea because I thought it would be really cute and just fun and really fulfilling creatively. It mixes like video and design and artwork all together in one. So I definitely want to see this through, and I want to continue making little videos on this. This first one's been a little chaotic because I took videos on my phone, but my phone, when I downloaded those videos, they didn't really upload properly into the editor that I wanted to edit them in, so I've had a little trouble, but I think next one's gonna be more smooth. But anyways, that's what I'm doing right now. And I'll show you these cute shelves. This is where I keep my makeup, but it just looks like a nice storage container. And put that here. I found this crow's feather recently, and I had to just take it. It was just laying on the ground, and there's a lot of crows here, but I've never found any feathers, but it's so perfect looking. I love it so much. So I took that as a sign of luck, of good luck. Got a few crystals. More of my crystals. Yeah. Much better. Yesterday I had someone over and I was trying to teach them how to draw, so I got a bunch of plants that I collected so that I could set up kind of a still life. I collected all these from outside. Look at this tiny little bottle. I love this little bottle. Wow, it drank all the water already. Anyways, the person that I was teaching, they ended up drawing this. I suggested actually just to draw the bottle, so I didn't need to collect all these plants, but I like having them here in the window. It's nice. I always want to have plants around. This is another plant I collected a while back, and this is a lid that I just put it in, and it's thriving here. This plant is all over the island, and it's a type of succulent. And it's super easy to take care of. I just replace this water every so often, and I sit it right here, and it's done really well. I want to honestly collect more of it because it's so beautiful. I realized I've not been letting anyone know what day it is on any of these vlogs, but I'll let you know now. It's Friday, and now I'm just going to finish this painting. Well, start and finish this painting real quick. It's the next part of my oracle card that I'm working on. I'll show you what I'm gonna paint. So I already painted this flower, and now it's time to paint this lock. I'll show you the mock-up real quick. Here's the mock-up I made. I already have this flower painted here, and the rest I need to paint still. So right now I'm working on this lock. Finally got showered. I had a workout, I had breakfast, I took care of myself this morning, and I feel so much better. It's day and night how I feel after I do yoga. It's so crazy because I woke up so tired and thinking, how am I gonna get through and do everything I need to do? But I just feel so much better now, and I think it's so important to take the time for me to take care of myself before I start creating. It's not always possible. Sometimes I'm in the middle of a project and I have to ride that flow that I have, and I just have to keep going, and it's okay to push myself sometimes. But I think it's important to know, for me to know, and other people too, that you don't have to run yourself ragged to create something that you want to create. You do need to prioritize yourself, because now I know that when I start creating, I'm going to be able to go so much faster, and I'm going to be able to be more inspired and feel better, because I feel so much better inside after exercising, yoga, a nice shower, getting dressed, getting outside. I'm going to get my dog outside soon as well. Anyways, I wanted to talk about how I got into tarot and oracle. I started using tarot and oracle, I want to say around 2020 during the pandemic. I had stumbled upon it and I had already knew what it was, but I didn't really know the extent of what it was. I grew up thinking that it was a little bit more black and white than it actually was, kind of like the interpretation that you see in movies and shows, where I thought that the answers were a little bit more straightforward. But then after I did some research and I started getting really into the witchy stuff during the pandemic, I had really fallen in love with divination and tarot. And I was really inspired creatively. And at the time I was going through a journey of not knowing what I wanted to do with my art, what I wanted to do with my career. I had a lot of questions in my mind, and so tarot and oracle helped me to search inside of myself and figure out what it is that I want to do, and answer those questions that I had inside of me. I was so inspired by it that it worked its way into my artwork, and a lot of the artwork that I do is about self-transformation, about reflection, and how we can improve ourselves and how we can change from the inside out. So around that time, a few years passed, I had been using tarot and oracle regularly. I had the epiphany, because I am a watercolor artist. I thought, I want to make an oracle deck. Out of nowhere, I just realized how everything that I was creating was forming into a form of divination, and it made its way into my work, and it made me realize that I really wanted to create my own oracle deck. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm working on the Everyday Alchemy Oracle deck.